Right then, well, hello everybody. Bit of a different video today. This is a bit of an experiment. We've been doing a lot of experiments recently. I've dropped the dual camera thing, although it was fun to shoot with this at the same time. I think it would be, I'm not there yet. I think that'll come back, just not yet. What I am planning on doing today is, it's a little bit of an experiment. So what I've wanted to do for a long time, and going into series 2 of Who the Fuck, I want to delve into the concept of a radio show and a podcast. These are two things that I think that I would be really good at if I put some time and effort into it. But it needs feedback, it needs testing, and it needs the concept to be thought out a bit better. Currently, copyright laws mean that you can't put other people's music and videos on YouTube, but there are other platforms out there that you can do such things. So it's the same with podcasts, but there are other platforms out there that you can. One of them is Mixcloud. So in the description down below, there is a link to a Mixcloud page where you can listen to this podcast, whatever you may call it, show, all with music, and royalties get paid to the right people, and you can add the tracks to your library if you wish. It's a bit of an idea at this stage, so bear with it. If it doesn't work, then let's tweak it until it does work. Right, rant over. I've been going for 2 minutes already. So what I'm going to do today is, quite simply, I'm going to go through my new music playlist, and just on Apple Music, and just let's talk about the records that are on there. Let's critique them, and then we can see if we can discover any music together. There's some good stuff on here already. I could just by quickly flicking through, see if there's anything I've heard of, anything that I need to add, and perhaps it'll give us some ideas of who's going to be playing festival season next year as well. Starting off with Wiley Flow by Stormzy. Certainly a wonderful return there from Stormzy. I think that's a great record. I think that he is just a fucking phenomenal artist. I always have thought he's absolutely brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed Sounds of the Skang. I thought that was really good, produced by Sir Spyro. This one, Wiley Flow, is... I'm literally reading through Genius.com now, because I'm not sure if it's like a beef record or not, but it sounds to me like it's not. This reads, the title and some of the flows within the song are homage to grime pioneer Wiley. Blah blah grime, something. Wiley Flow sees a fierce energy return from Stormzy, as in earlier tracks such as Big Feet Boots. In it, he asserts his position as top of the game, much like how Wiley can say everyone is younger, so can Stormzy. I think, and also the artwork is a throwback to Boy Better Know presents Tunnel Vision, which has Wiley on the cover. I think that Stormzy is in an incredible place in the UK at the moment. I think musically he is on fire, and I think that just some wonderful, wonderful things have come from him in the past and are due to come. I would love it if he ends up playing Reading Festival next year. I think that would be great. Yeah, I think he's in an amazing place, and I'd love to see where his next album takes him. I think he could do very, very well. I'd like to also see him break America. Next record is Slowthai and Denzel Curry. The record is called Psycho. Well, as expected there, fire. Production is on point. Love that violin that's going through that whole thing. Just sounds kind of creepy. And I think that Denzel Curry and Slowthai makes sense as a collaborative force. I think that track actually suits both of them individually, but I'm not sure how well it works as a collaboration. It's probably going to take a few more listens for me to really kind of get into that, but I love it. I think UK and American artists collaborating together is a wonderful thing. I fucking love Nothing Great About Britain, and it just should have won the Mercury in my opinion. I thought it was absolutely spectacular. And from what I've heard of Denzel Curry so far, I've really enjoyed. So I guess a winner. In fact, let's add it to the library. Yeah, added. Next we're looking at Elastic by AJ Tracy. AJ Tracy there, wow. Yeah, that's that one for Top Boy, the Netflix series. He's great. I saw him a couple of weeks ago at Reading Festival, and he was phenomenal. First album doing exceptionally well. I think that Ladbroke Grove is a wicked track, and a great album as well. And I think that he's doing really, really well for himself as an artist. Excited to see where he takes that next. This little feature on the Top Boy soundtrack is really, really cool, and I think he's got a bright future ahead of him going into his next project. That record there, he's captivating on that kind of, not sure if it's drill music, not sure if it's grime music, but it's certainly very UK and it's sure of itself. That's what I like about this kind of stuff. I think it sounds wonderful. Right, who's next? Next we're getting away from the hip hop and into some indie, and we're looking at Wallows. Ooh. That one there, the new one from Wallows, I think that they are just the best band to come out this year. I absolutely adore them. For those that don't know who Wallows are, they are like an indie rock band featuring Dylan Minnette of 13 Reasons Why fame. And some other Disney Channel shows, I believe. I fell in love with that album this year. I fell in love with them like a couple of years ago, throwing sticks at trees or whatever it is. What was the other single that they had that was absolutely brilliant? A Pleaser, Suntan, Pulling Leaves Off Trees, Uncomfortable. They're just brilliant. They're just brilliant. I love them. That song there has the vocals of Brandon, who is the other vocalist. They're a bit like Swimmers in that they kind of switch between their vocalists depending on the style of the record, which I think works quite well for them, I have to say. This one, I prefer Dylan's vocal because I can pitch him singing it. It's bizarre. But I still think that whatever record they put out is great. That's the A-side of a single that they've released separate to their debut album. The B-side is called Just Like a Movie. It's supposed to be a bit more kind of synthy. I'll have to go through and check that one out at a later date. But I really enjoy that. It was originally recorded for Record Store Day 2019, which was in April of this year. This was released on the 6th of September digitally. So it's the first time, along with a lyric video, which you can see on YouTube. Wallows, Wallows, Wallows. Are they touring the UK? I really want to see them. Are you fucking kidding me? They're playing Ali Pali while I'm in Australia. Fuck. Right, well, their last gig is Saturday the 16th of November. They've got to play. They've got to play the rest of the UK at another time. Ali Pali. Why don't we put that on our Reading list? Right, Wallows, brilliant. Next, we're looking at Nudes. NVDES. Well, I thoroughly enjoy this. This is brilliant. Nudes have been an act that I've followed for a while. I believe it's a guy, right? It's just one guy. This record here is actually featured as part of on the advert for the new iPhone. So whether or not this is like Apple have given them a little bump because of it, but loads of energy as I have come to expect from Nudes' work. NV. The track is called Bazooka. Hang on, there's a Wikipedia page. Here we go. Right, Wikipedia says Nudes is an experimental indie pop, indie electronica and electropop project created in 2015 based in Los Angeles, California. I thought it was just one guy though. Let me just confirm this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure by the looks of it, it's just one guy. I'd highly recommend going back and listening to Nudes and checking out some of the back catalogue. I wasn't the biggest fan of the album that came out this year, or was it last year? Just didn't feel very consistent. I mean, it feels consistent with the rest of the sound. It's like all over the place, but it wasn't something that I thought was like exceptional like his singles are, or their singles are. That's so loud. Hopefully you haven't picked the sound up on that one. But yeah, so Nudes, amazing. Highly recommend checking the rest of their back catalogue out. And that record is a fun one to dance around to on a Friday night as well. I can only assume. Perhaps I'll try it this week. Next up, we have Francis and the Lights. Francis and the Lights, they're collaborating with Kanye West and Justin Vernon of Bon Iver. I think this is I've just been reading through on Genius.com about this. There's 8 writing credits for this record. So who have we got on here? Written by Francis and the Lights, Chance the Rapper, Caroline Shaw, Cashmere Cat, Benny Blanco, BJ Burton, Francis Farewell Starlight, Mike Dean, Lex Luger, Justin Vernon and Kanye West. For fuck's sake, there's so many people on this record. With that many people, I guess this happens every so often when loads of people get involved in something and you expect it to be this epic, but because there's so much going on, it kind of, I don't know. The only time I think it's ever worked where there's been that many people collaborating was All the Lights by Kanye West, because there's 100 million people that feature on that record. But I found it a bit bland. I found this record a bit bland. Everyone's talking about it like it's amazing, and it just isn't for me. It's a bit too slow, I think. I really like Francis and the Lights. I loved Friends. I loved Can I Have This Dance? May I Have This Dance? Whatever it was. It was absolutely great. In fact, I think I put it in an early episode of Mixcloud. They're cool. I really like them, but this song, it's not for me. It's not for me. Oh well. Lauren loves it. I don't. Next, we're looking at ASAP Ferg. Someone that sometimes I really like and sometimes I just don't get. He balances the line between like ad-libby kind of mumble rapper and like an OG rapper really finely. Like he bounces between them quite a lot. Sometimes he reminds me of A$AP Rocky loads, and then other times he just sounds nothing like him. So I'm not sure. This record isn't one that I'm going to go out of my way to be obsessed with. Like, I have loved A$AP Ferg records before. Like Shabba, New Level, the East Coast, and specifically the remix is really good. Voices in My Head was a feature on Subtract that I loved. He collaborated with Buddy on his album. Also, obviously he's done stuff with A$AP Rocky and A$AP Mob before. Sometimes he's great, and then sometimes I just like, he's someone that I don't love everything he does, but I do really appreciate his work. I think A$AP Rocky comes up in a minute, actually. Oh, here we go. In fact, it's now. Babushka Boy. So actually, I've listened to Babushka Boy before, so not a new one for me. I think that it's quite a cool record. It's a fun beat. I like that, like 808 little kind of toms in it. That's really cool. A$AP Rocky's such a wicked rapper, and he's had such a bizarre year in terms of releasing music and touring. Obviously getting put in prison in Sweden was quite a big deal, but I think that he's really cool. I think his music is amazing, and I think he's a very underrated rapper. In a world where we have lots and lots and lots of Atlanta mumble rappers, A$AP Rocky is flying the flag for the new school that I like. I put him up there with people like Kendrick and with people like J. Cole and Tyler, the Creator. I think that they're all very, very, very talented people. And this is just another one that I'd fucking love to hear. It's on a massive sound system in a field. I think it would be absolutely brilliant. Apparently it's all about wearing silk headscarves. Well, there we go. Next we're looking at the newest record by Happy Meal Limited. Ho, ho, ho. Newest record from Happy Meal Limited there, entitled Loaded. Happy Meal Limited, or HMLTD as they're branded these days. They're a band that I've been following for a few years now. I think they're fucking wonderful. They make the most bizarre, rave-inspired indie music ever. I was just reading their Wikipedia page. The lead singer, Henry, formed the band under the pseudonym Spy Chaselski. Met on like Reddit and 4chan, blah 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 blah. Gender bending, cross-dressing, flamboyant performances. Their image is described as kind of Ziggy Stardust era Bowie, which I completely agree with, but also have that kind of new romantics part of the 1980s. They're very kind of avant-garde in their approach to their sound. They're like a mixture of people like Peaches and The Prodigy. I really love Happy Meal Limited. I got to see them last year at Reading, and I thought that they were absolutely wonderful. I think that they're thoroughly entertaining, and yeah, I genuinely cannot wait for them to put out like a bigger project, like an album. I think that'd be wonderful, and I can't wait to see more of them. They're just fantastic. Record there, I don't think's like as in your face as tracks like Music or Is This What You Wanted or To The Door, but certainly they're growing as a band and defining their sound, and I'm just really excited to see where they take it. Hopefully this means that it's the start of something new. Happy Meal Limited. Wonderful. The next record is Fishing by Sports Team. Sports Team are my new favourite band. I absolutely adore them. I've just bought tickets to see them in Leeds, 28th of November I think. Well excited to see that live. I love this record, Fishing. I must have listened to it 100 times. I think it's so good. You just listen to it on repeat. It's so addictive, and enjoy, like, it's so much fun. They're such a fun band. They actually remind me a lot of Happy Meal Limited in terms of its vocal delivery. They remind me loads of Pulp. I've just thought about this on the spot, but Maximo Park. They remind me of that kind of same sound. The music's very Maximo Park, and the kind of vocal delivery is very direct and in your face. Just think it's really cool. I think they're really, really good. Live, they were amazing at Reading. I fucking loved them. I'm really excited to see where they go next because of that, and yeah, I'm really excited to see where they take their sound next in terms of their debut album and what that looks like. The Sports Team, I think they're so good. Their reprises are so good as well. Yeah, wonderful. That one, Trance by the SLP. It's an okay record. The SLP, for everyone that doesn't know, is Serge from Kasabian's side project. He is a wonderful, wonderful character. He's like best mates with Noel Fielding as well, which I always love. That record, it's an okay one. I don't think it really does enough for me. Other SLP records, I really enjoyed what he did with Little Sims. I thought that was great. I haven't listened to the full album yet. It's not anything that I'm gagging to check out, but I do really like Serge. I think he's a very cool character, and I think his music is amazing in Kasabian, and I'm sure that as an album it's thoroughly enjoyable as well. That record, personally, not doing enough for me. It's a bit slow. Trance, I expected it to be a bit more ravey, but there we go. That's just my me being a fool, I guess. What's next? Another Sky. That one there is Capable of Love by Another Sky, a band that I've been aware of for about a year, I'd say. I'm pretty sure Annie Mac used to play them, and Greg James used to enjoy them. I could be wrong. They remind me of people like Half Moon Run. Vocals are like a little too soft for my taste, but they've clearly got quite a cool sound. I like how epic their production is. Like, it's done very, very well. They're also a band that uses piano a lot. I'm not the biggest fan of like piano in like Indian rock music, unless it's like a sample or something. Like Bombay have done that very well in the past. Like Shuffle, for example, is brilliant. But there are people like Keen or Half Moon Run or Alt J who have put like the piano at the forefront, and it's just not my thing. But a very well produced album. Won't be one that I'll be going back to though. Let's put it that way. But if you're a fan, check out Another Sky. They did a secret set at Reading Festival this year on the BBC Introducing stage on the Friday at Reading, Saturday at Leeds, I believe. Did you go? Did you enjoy it? Let me know. But yes, Capable of Love, cool drum samples. Not a big fan of the rest of it though. Next, we are looking at Freckles by Pip Blom. I don't know who the fuck video for them. Pip Blom there with the record Freckles, a record that I think sounds a lot like The Hives. That's who they remind me of the most. I believe they're Danish or Swedish. Is that right? Pip Blom. Dutch, that's the one. They're cool. The record's alright. It might be a bit of a grower. It's not one that I'm like running out my way to add to my library. But it doesn't offend me in any way, that's for sure. It's pretty cool though. Not much more I can say about that really. It's not really all my thing, but I'm interested in where... I'd be interested in listening to more of Pip Blom's music. They played at Reading Festival this year on the Radio 1 stage, part of the 12% of mixed gender bands that played this year. So, yeah, what's your thoughts? Do you like Pip Blom? Are they one that I should be paying more attention to? Because I just... they're all right. They're all right. They're not doing enough that's that different for me, I think. I think that's the problem. Next, we're looking at Radio by Ty Segall. The always psychedelic Ty Segall there, back with a new record, Radio, which features some wonderful sitar music in it. Similar to Another Sky and Trance by SLP that I was talking about before. It doesn't really go anywhere. It's kind of just psychedelic and hippy-dippy, man, whoa. But it doesn't really do anything more. I'm going down to Byron Bay in 2 weeks, so perhaps I should just sit and listen to it there and enjoy it a bit more. It's cool, like I like psychedelic inspired stuff, don't get me wrong. Perhaps I'm just being a bit too harsh on first listen. It's cool. No, but yeah, I did quite like it. I'd like a little bit more though, I think. But the guitars and the sitars in there are cool, the production's really cool. Very Tame Impala-esque, I would say, but would like it to just do a bit more, I think. But let me know your thoughts, because as I said, perhaps I'm just being a bit harsh. What have we got next? Next, we're heading into the realms of drum and bass with the wonderful Logistics. Logistics back on this one. How many albums has that man released? It must be like 100 by this point. This one back with the record Rhythm Track, signed to One Can Only Assume Hospital Records. Let's have a look. Yup. NHS 364. Fucking hell. I think my first hospital purchase was 85 or 75. I can't remember. I think it was If We Had the White High Contrast. What was that? 2007. If We Have a High Contrast. NHS 123. Okay, it wasn't quite that far back. Logistics, though, and Hospital Records are old favourites of mine. Sitting and actually just listening to some drum and bass is so easy when you do that with anything released on Hospital Records. But then if you end up going and seeing it live, oh my god, it's so good. Right, how how many albums did this man released? Now More Than Ever in 2006, which is an amazing album. You should go back and listen to that. Reality Checkpoint, which is great. Crash Bang Wallop, which is great. Space Jam's Fear Not. Polyphony, Electric Sun, and Hologram. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 albums. Goodness me. This record here, rhythm track, is taken from the Waveforms EP, which isn't on Wikipedia. Funny. This is a great record. Wonderful kind of warm sub-bass tones. Wicked little like ragga sample in there. Honestly, just makes me want to plug in some speakers and jump on the decks. Have a good mix. That's what I want to do right now. Logistics, what a bad man. Next we're looking at Subfocus and Wilkinson. Very nice. This one is Illuminate by Subfocus and Wilkinson, two drum and bass pioneers in their own rights for different reasons. This record in particular sounds something like straight out of 2005. It reminds me a lot of X-Ray by Subfocus, which is the track that made him. In fact, it doesn't sound like Wilkinson at all. Maybe the drums, I guess. But the synths and bassline are just old school Subfocus in this. Yeah, it's nice to kind of go back and listen to stuff like this. I'm glad that Apple Music sees that I had a big drum and bass period in my life and is like, we're not going to let that go. You have to continue listening to it. But that little like is very cool. Very, very, very Subfocus. Big fan of that. Next we're going to another drum and bass pioneer, but not making a drum and bass track this time. This is DJ Zinc. So in the kind of late noughties, DJ Zinc stopped making drum and bass and started making house music. And this was before house music was off on one. This is like pre-Disclosure, pre-Julio Bashmore, pre-Justin Martin. Like dubstep and drum and bass was at its absolute height, and DJ Zinc stopped making drum and bass and started making house. Specifically, everyone said, oh, what do you call this subgenre of house? And he got it crack house, which is funny. He's a funny guy. He's a good... Follow him on Instagram, actually. He's fucking hilarious. He tells lots of stories. In fact, he should be just a vlogger. He should put it all on YouTube. It would be brilliant. But this one, he's back with kind of one of those house records that reminds me of While Out or Let's Go, featuring JME. This one is Let's Get Together. Has that kind of body rockers, bouncy electro house synth in it, and a fun, old house beat. It's just got a lot of groove and a lot of bounce to it in a way that is so tasteful, in a way that only DJ Zinc can. I don't know how he does it. Him and Red Light are the two that make music that are just, it's not massively serious, but a lot of fun. I like this. This is cool. In fact, I'm going to add it. I'd like to. This is another record that just makes you want to mix. Very cool. Up next is Dimension. Dimension in this record is just doing what he does absolutely best. Taking a sample of this French girl speaking about going to this club and getting really fucking high and using that as a sample in a very, very, very classic kind of, I guess, Ibiza house kind of way. Like people used to do that all the time with just sampling people talking, laying a complete OG Dimension bass line under the bottom of it. This ticks all the boxes for just a dance floor destroyer for me. Absolutely brilliant. Fuck, I'm really enjoying listening to drum and bass. I need to do more of this. Yeah, I can imagine this going down incredibly well at a rave. Just absolutely smashing it. Dimension, if you want to. Thoroughly enjoyable. Right, what's next? Right, we're leaving the realms of drum and bass now and heading back to the realms of indie pop and rock. This time we're heading to check out Circa Waves. I'll be completely honest, I did not enjoy anything off of the previous Circa Waves album. I thought the whole project was really dull and just far too commercial. It's just something. They went from having two very good first albums. They were on a really good trajectory, but then like movies and I can't remember what the other record was called. I just did not enjoy it at all. This, however, starts with a kind of, do you know what? Let's go back a bit. I can listen to it while I tweet you. It starts off with this kind of Joy Division drum machine, high bass line, and this cool little synth in the background. It's very post-punk actually. There's an element of me that feels like they're trying to be the Wombats a bit too much, but I like the kind of progression of this record. If it would have stayed how it does for the first 2 minutes, if it would have stayed the same way as it did for the first 2 minutes, then we'd be having a different conversation now. But at that 2 minute mark, when that changes and breaks, they realise they're a rock band again. Oh, wonderful record. God, hang on. It's a bit scared, I like this. Yeah, this is wicked. Yeah. Alright, They've redeemed themselves again. I like Circa Waves again. Wonderful. So this is taken from an EP? Yeah. The guitar solo is wicked as well. You know, something magic is happening in music at the moment, and I think the Wombats were the first to do it for me, where people start here, then go up to their next album, and then kind of dip away. And that used to mean suicide, you're done, see you later. Very few people came back ever. There's been a few occasions where that's happened in the last kind of year or so, where I've gone, oh, actually, they're a cool band again. Another band is White Lies. I thought their last record was very good. And, you know, I think that the point is that people are getting, like, the chance to redeem themselves more and more. And that's a really exciting prospect, because all these bands that were amazing and just kind of disappeared could just come back and make amazing stuff again. I love what Chapanyati's doing. I love what Bombay's doing. But you know, that's a really exciting prospect. Perhaps this is the same for Circa Waves. I really like this. It's a good record. That's getting added, I tells you. Oh, it's from the new EP. So they're releasing a new EP, or have released a new EP. That record there, called Something More, is taken from that EP. The EP is called What's That Left Over There? They're Liverpudlian, aren't they? Cool. Well, you know what? I'm okay with that. If they're going to carry on releasing music that sounds as good as that, then I'm alright with it. I just don't want them to. I think that the album they released was a bit kind of too poppy for me, and it just was not my thing. But this is my thing. I'm okay with that. Right, who we got next? Cassia. I did a WTF video about them not so long ago, so let's check out this new record and see what we think. This isn't a new record at all. This is the record, Hello. Oh, just cool to say hello. They played this at Reading, it was wonderful. I think this is a great record. Add that motherfucker. Yeah, very cool. Cassia have this wonderful sound that just sounds like a pina colada. That is how I describe them. They sound like a pina colada. Like, they took Friendly Fires going off on their world bit and ran with it. I think they're fucking brilliant. Cassia are cool. Really cool. Right, I love that. I don't need to listen to the rest of that. It's brilliant, it's getting added. Next we're looking at Volaris, all over from Reading. I did a WTF video about them. Let's see what this new record is all about. So yeah, Volaris, that record there, they just seem to me like a bit of a band that hasn't quite figured out their sound yet. That record had, I don't know if there was like some artistic parts to it, but there were like parts where it sounded like, and perhaps it's my headphones, who knows, but it just sounded like the volume was going in and out, and it was a bit odd. I'm not sure I really liked that much. Musically, I think they're very cool. I think that they absolutely have it in them to be a very good rock band, but I don't think this track represents them best. It's hard. This one it's not one that I'm obsessed with. I'm very aware though that it sounds like I'm trying to shit on them, and I don't want that to be the case. I think they're a very, very good band, and I would highly recommend going and checking out the rest of their catalogue. But this one isn't one that I would be running out of my way to go and listen to or to sing along to live, for example. But I think they're very good. I think they're a very, very good band. It's just this one isn't for me. Right, who's next? The Snuts. Let's see how I enjoy this one. I've got so much shit for the Snuts video I did last. That one there by the Snuts. I got in fucking loads of shit for doing the video I did about the Snuts, because I just said they weren't really my thing. I don't mind that record, it's alright. I probably wouldn't go out of my way to listen to it, but if it came on I wouldn't like turn it off or skip it. It's alright. It's fine. That's my opinion on them though. That's the point of having an opinion, is you can't like everything. And you know what, if I just sat here and played 25 tracks and everyone watching this was like, oh well, there's his new music playlist, he just likes everything on it, that's not the point. You've got to have an opinion. And I like being shocked by music. I like knowing that I'm going to go in and think it's going to be one thing and then it coming out the other way. I don't like it when you think it's going to be good and it ends up bad, like Francis, not bad, but Francis the Light, I expected more. But then Circa Waves, I thought it was going to be really poppy and boring, and I ended up really enjoying it. So there we go. That's the point. Snuts there, they're all right. It's all right. I've yet to find a record by them that I think, fuck, I really like them as a band. That's my point. Next, we have Jerami and the track Hold On. That record is Hold On by Jerami. Wow, this is my kind of thing. Jerami has this kind of brilliant old disco sound. It's kind of like Kaytranada if Kaytranada wasn't so much of an alien. I mean that in a good way. I have 3 tracks in my library by Jerami. Let's make that 4. added. But tracks No Better, No Chance and Pretty Big House have all been records that I've really liked in the past. This is no difference, man. That bass line is fucking wonderful. When's Friday? I'm ready for Friday now. Oh, this is a great record. Right, next we're looking at Sticky Fingers. I'll be completely honest, Sticky Fingers there with Teenage Vertigo. I've never heard of them before, but I really like this record. Very cool. Someone commented on the Chats video I did saying that they reminded them of Sticky Fingers, and at that point I thought that they were like an old 70s punk band. By looking at it, Sticky Fingers have released 4 albums. They released their 4th album this year in February, entitled Yours to Keep, which made it to number 4 in the Australian chart and number 5 in New Zealand. Doesn't look like they're anyone that has really broken England yet, but very cool. I like that. That's cool. That is cool music. They're from Sydney in New South Wales, signed to Shore Shaker Records. How many members? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members. I don't know what else to say. Teenage Vertigo. Cool record. I like that sound. It's got a lovely tempo to it. It's got that kind of punk feel that I think is wonderful. Very kind of DMAs-esque, if they were a bit more rocky. Sticky Fingers. I like that one. Added. And that takes us to our last record by Post Malone called On the Road. So that was the last record in our mix today. That was Post Malone featuring Lil Baby and Meek Mill. I have to say, I thought it's dreadful. That's not my kind of Post Malone. Post Malone is the most strange artist to me at the moment because I think he's fucking brilliant. He's breaking so many molds and isn't really a rapper and isn't really an R&B star, but is. Especially when he works with other rappers and R&B people like Lil Baby, for example. But, number one, I really can't stand Lil Baby or Meek Mill. I think they're crap. But that's my opinion. I don't want to upset anyone. But, yeah, it's not one that I think is very good. I think Post Malone has it in him to make amazing records. I think Wow is one of my favourite fucking records of the year. I think it's fucking brilliant. But that one is not. So that was a fun little experiment. I'm not sure if this is something that I'll do again in the future or if this is something that anyone will enjoy. The last video I did got like 2,000 views in the first day. This one I don't think will, because it's just me chatting shit to a microphone. As I said, there's a link below where you can listen to this with all the music. If a couple of you, the hardcore fans, if you could just go and listen to it and give me some feedback, that would be great. Going into series 2 of WTF, I think that I'll do a bit more of this, so it just means I can cover a lot of music in a short space of time. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Is this something that you'd like me to do more of? Have you enjoyed the last hour and a half, 2 hours? It's been fun to listen to new music and discover new parts kind of with you, so that's always a fun, and to get a first reaction is something that's a lot of fun. So I don't know why I've got these in, I'm not listening to music anymore. Yeah, I just love to know your thoughts. And thanks to everyone that's been watching these videos the last few weeks. It's been absolutely brilliant. I can't believe the amount of fucking people that want to watch me chat shit about festivals and music. It's completely crazy. But hey ho. Right, I'm gonna go and finish cleaning my house. We're packing, so you can't tell, but like there's shit everywhere. And I have to repaint the walls because we did stupid shit with them. Right, anyway, see you later. Bye.